America has always been a country that has created bridges, bringing unlikely cultures together and forming unpredicted bonds. So much great cuisine, music, art, and architecture has come about this way. Sometimes the new creations work so smoothly, it's hard to imagine them being any other way. William Harley and the Davidson brothers came together to create an American legend which has lasted for well over 100 years. The rap-rock convergence of Aerosmith and Run DMC eventually helped to break down social barriers and gave way to an entirely new genre of music. Or even consider the convergence of so many individual devices we used to own that are now all part of a smart device we keep in our pockets. On today's episode, we'll meet with a man who has found great success blending together his favorite passions of fabrication and distillation. We'll also meet an author who took a deep dive into his heritage and came out with a series of romance novels based on motorcycles. And lastly, a musician who has successfully bonded his own Native American culture to the chaotic sounds of Nordic black metal. So grab your building tools as we bridge the gaps on the next story.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to The Next Story. I'm your host, Justin DeMilan, and I'm here today with Evan Favaro. How you doing, Evan?
What's going on, man?
Glad to be here with you at Speakeasy Motors.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Oh, absolutely. I see you got a lot of beautiful work in here.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
So I started Speakeasy Motors when I was 21 in Jersey, in Paramus. I was working on everything from snow blowers to, a random motorcycle here and there. And then through the years, I got away from the small engine repair that was just me, just trying to pay rent, into the passion that I was pursuing was the motorcycles. I was leaning a lot more towards the custom fabrication end of it, not really so much the service stuff, but more of the welding and the metal shaping and all that, customizing them and stuff like that.
Very cool.
So, yeah, and then from there it kind of snowballed into what it is today, which 13 years later. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
and I see aside from bikes, you got hot rods going on. You got a lot of cool stuff. I seen you got awards. You got them fun giant checks they gave you for winning all over the walls there.
You can't fit them in the tube at the drive-thru, so it's a bunch of wasted money.
So what are all those from?
That was the International Motorcycle Show at the Javits Center in the city.
Oh, wow.
City, yeah. So,
was it all from 1 year? Have you gone multiple years?
No,
or?
that was seven or 8 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then some of them were for the national championship out in Chicago. So if you win in New York, you go to the championship in Chicago, and then I won there twice,
nice.
2 or 3 times. Yeah.
That is incredible. Is that separate from the trophies I see up there as well?
Yeah, those were just random shows throughout the years. Yeah.
Wow.
But most of that, the big checks are from the Javits Center.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And aside from this, I imagine this has got to occupy a lot of your time, but I understand you've also got a whiskey business?
Yeah, sure do. That was an idea that I had with a buddy of mine back in 2016, 17, and then we finally turned it into an actual legitimate business in 2019. We have a full cocktail bar now and tasting room, and now we're in just about 100 retail locations.
Oh, wow.
All just only through the Hudson Valley in New York.
What's the name of that business?
So it's Speakeasy Motors American Whiskey Company and Liquid Mercantile. All our whiskey products are under the Speakeasy Motors line, and then all the non-whiskeys, we do an apple brandy, a vodka, some other liqueurs, that's under the Liquid Mercantile line.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. It was kind of like this pipe dream that we kind of just made happen,
Does that stay separate, or do you, go to a motorcycle show, win your contest, and then while you're there promoting the whiskey brand as well, or?
A little bit of both. I would say I do a lot of street fairs and events and stuff like that for just the whiskey company.
Okay.
But so I have a 1930 Model A Ford, and that's the car that's on our label.
Okay.
So I'll pack all my stuff up, cases of whiskey in the car, big tent and everything set up at a street fair, park the car next to it, and then sell bottles to the public.
Oh, nice.
In addition to the retail spots, but it's always cool to have the car that's on the label next to it. And, yeah. But then when I do a bike show that's in New York State, I'll do the same thing. I'll combine the two, where I'll bring out the car and a bike, and sell whiskey as well.
Okay.
With our license, we're only in New York State right now.
Gotcha.
So we're a farm distillery. So everything has to be from New York State, from the grain to the bottle.
Oh, wow.
So that means we can self-distribute within New York State.
Nice.
And once we get bigger in capital and all that, then we'll slowly start expanding to other states. So our goal is to be nationwide.
Okay.
But right now, slowly just kind of owning the backyard.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And then every weekend we have a tasting room cocktail bar. Every Thursday night we do like a hot rod and bike night. So it's like a ride-in bike show, car show.
Now, where is that located?
About 10 minutes down the road in Pine Bush.
Pine Bush. What's the address there?
That is 174 Hardenberg Road.
So before you got into that, you were working on bikes. This bike here is definitely eye-catching. What is the story?
This is just a Sportster build, just a hardtail Sportster build. It's nothing too crazy, like just a King Sporty tank, but the wheels and suspension are cool. They're Kineo wheels out of Italy. You can see like the external spokes like that, kind of used on like supermoto bikes. Really stripped, cleaned down, real simple bike. There's gonna be no real thrills or frills about it. Just gonna be like a cool little clean, simple bar hopper, but with really trick little details like the wheels, which are really not common on. You don't really see those on a Harley base. So you see like how the spokes are all external.
Yeah.
Those are used on like a lot of Ducatis and supermoto style bikes run those. Okay. So they don't really. At the time when I did these, they didn't even have a Harley setup. I had to make the whole hub kind of assembly work with these Harley lower legs and rear axle setup. It's got some cool little laser cut double inlay fender struts that I've been working on.
Now this is your fabrication here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is all laser cut. So we'll design all that and laser cut it out. I've been working on a lot of cars lately, like full restorations and custom cars, and that's kind of diverted a lot less bikes, more cars, but then I do a lot of like furniture. I do a lot of like fine furniture and stuff.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
Keeps it interesting.
Do you have any favorite builds, any good stories behind them?
I would say my favorite build that I've done is, I just finished it last September, was a 1939 Lincoln Zephyr. That I built for Paul Jr. He came to me to build it for him for this insurance company. Okay. So it was his design, and he worked with me, building the car. We built it all here out of the shop. Nice. I suicided the doors and we did fadeaway fenders, but it was a huge team effort. Like there was a point where there was literally 8 of us hammering down on the thing. And
oh wow!
I got a great crew of guys, so it was good to. Bike wise, I built this bike for the Hot Bike Tour back in 2017. We rode from here down to Tennessee, so it was from like Asheville to Nashville. Okay. And that was for Hot Bike Magazine, and that was like the rear fender was the gas tank, and then like the oil bag, like the oil tank was another gas tank, but the oil actually ran through the frame. And it was pretty nuts. Totally exposed motor, so there's no gas tank on the backbone. Wow. And then I wound up selling that bike to Pink, the singer. So,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so she's
very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, cool. Can we take a little tour?
Yeah, for sure.
I see you got a few Hondas sitting around the shop here.
Yeah, that's a 74 CB. I love old Hondas. I'm not really a big metric guy, except for these early CBs. But I did start my entire business building bikes was on metric bikes because that's what I could afford. Gotcha. And they're great platforms. Like that bike will run forever. Nice. And it's a CB. Those are the original super bikes back in the 70s. Like that's sort of great power, performance, really reliable bikes, and they're cool platforms to modify.
And what is this here we're looking at?
That was like my buddy pulled it out of his brother-in-law's basement or something. Oh wow. Yeah, a little 2-stroke Italian moped, and then like sat there for like 30 years. Clean the carburetor, put fresh fuel and spark plug in it, fire it up. Nice. Yeah. Over here is this is a 1930 Model A. I chopped this car 4 inches, so it's already chopped. It did it's 59 Cadillac taillights on it. It's got a 454 supercharged big block in it. Again, this is also dual quad fuel injected. So this is a car that I started. This was like one of those Model A's that was like too nice to chop up.
Yeah.
It was a really nice survivor. So we chopped it up. Took it all apart. It's on 32 rails, big block. This is a brand new lowrider ST. I cut knee pockets into the tank. It's a carbon fiber rear fender, front fender. So that's a little side project going on. I make these side mount license plates for Harleys now. Because these have the bags. I'm like, when you clean up the rear fender and you have the giant license plate right at the back, you want to get rid of all that, you can run one of my setups here and it mounts right to your axle.
Nice.
Yeah, so they come real clean, simple, little light up underneath to light up your plate. This is a 1968 Ford Bronco. So this is a full restoration, full frame off. We replaced 90% of the metal. The thing was wasted. It was like the bottom of a swamp. So this side is more of the maintenance final assembly side.
Okay.
Whereas so this was the original shop that we're standing in now. But actually my painter did that car and all that, did all this here. This is a Brain Bucket paint shop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, did all this paint work. It's a little, I don't want to touch it, a little dusty now. But really, really nice stuff. He does all my paint work for me.
Some of your award checks we were talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was, all while I was doing that was when, mostly before, during, and after my time at OCC. So when I was fabricating over there, I was also running the shop here, and that's when I was doing, that was in the competition days. Now I just kind of make it happen in the yard, you know.
How long were you at OCC?
I was at OCC 2013 to 2017.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
so that's actually what got me up here in the Hudson Valley too. So I was down in Paramus, started my shop down in Paramus, and I was 23. I saw an ad on Facebook that they were looking for somebody for their new TV show. And I was like one of 10,000 people that applied. And it was like a whole process of elimination, and I won out of 10,000 people. It was pretty wild. That was a hell of a learning experience.
I'll bet, yeah.
I probably built 100 bikes ground up.
Nice.
From the frame. And it was I call it like an accelerated program. You know, it's like I probably never built 100 bikes in my lifetime. And I did that in like those 4.5, 5 years that I was there.
Yeah.
We built bikes for Shaquille O'Neal and all these big box stores for the show and random, there's a lot of off-air builds that we did that you'll never even see because they were just for all these crazy clients all over the world, like princes in Abu Dhabi, you name it, like nuts, like these billionaires in China that we just made these, I don't even know how to explain them. They're pretty nuts. That was a really, really fun experience.
For our viewers, where can they find, get a hold of you guys? Website, social media?
Yeah, so speakeasymotors.com and Speakeasy Motors AmericanLiquors.com for the whiskey stuff. Liquid Mercantile. Honestly, if you just throw Speakeasy Motors into Google, everything's going to pop up.
Okay, perfect.
That's kind of the simple way to do it. The most updated is my Instagram. I'm constant. I'm pretty frequent on my Instagram with stories and posts and all that.
Well, this is very cool. It's been great meeting you, and I appreciate you having me out.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man, thanks.
Evan Favaro got his start building motorcycles and has since time built 2 successful businesses and is still pressing ever onward with unrelenting momentum. It's such a unique drive that propels a person to say, I can do all the things I want to do. My mind is fully absorbed in this can-do attitude as I make my way to Meadow Blues Coffee in Chester, New York. That's where I met with Michael Gerarty, a romance novelist who was studious enough to learn the ins and outs of motorcycle culture and brought it to a less likely audience, bridging the gaps once more and exposing the bike life to an entirely new audience. So fill a cup and pull up a seat as we listen to his story.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to The Next Story. I'm your host, Justin De Milan, and I'm here today with Michael Gerarty. How you doing, Michael?
Hi, nice to meet you, Justin.
Thank you for meeting with me. I'm very excited to talk about your book series here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started as an author?
Well, you know what, I always wrote as a kid. It was something I was always interested in, and then as I got older, you know, I kept it up. I did a lot of short stories and journaling, but never really shared anything with anyone. And then I became a content writer for websites and started putting some stuff out there. And my publisher right now, Scarlet Lantern Publishing, saw something that I wrote and asked me if I could do a couple of things for them. And I submitted them to them. They liked them, and they offered me a contract. So I've been working with them for the last 5 or 6 years. And I've done 12 books with them so far. So it's it's been great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So now this book series you have is focused on motorcycling. Tell me a little bit about this series.
The series, it's called the Cozentor Motorcycle Club series. It's actually based in this area in Orange County, and the club is fictional. It's an Irish born and bred club, and they're actually, all the members are also it's something called sandhogs. They're the guys who build the tunnels in New York City. It's a traditional Irish labor job going back to the turn of the century.
Not fictional, that's real.
That's real.
Wow.
So I kind of used that as a method of bringing all these characters together. They share the common bond of what they do for work, but then they are also part of this motorcycle club as a side for their relaxation, and you know, it gets them involved in other things as well.
Wow. Okay. Now, is series writing something you've done, or is this your first series?
So yeah, I do have a baseball series, but the motorcycle series was you know, something that I felt drawn to it. It sounded like a really good idea of something to try, and it was different for me at the time, so I wanted to give it a shot.
So when you start a series like this, do you start with a series in mind, or do you start with a book that just grows?
For this one, it actually just kind of grew. The first one I wrote was Finn, and you know, that one was it was going to be a standalone, but then after talking things over with the publisher, we felt like there were enough good characters in there that I could do a book about different members of the club and introduce, you know, some of the same characters are in each book, but each book is about a different member of the club and, you know, things that they're involved in. So you get a little bit of both. Each book can stand on its own, you know, if you just wanted to pick up one and read it. The story itself does stand on its own, but it's all tied together. You know, the characters overlap, and there are some mentions back and forth of things that have happened from book to book. So,
okay. So I see we're in order here. Finn is book 1.
Yep.
So this is where we started.
Yep.
Now, you say they can each be standalone, but do they read? Does the story read along kind of as a series?
Yes.
Or can you mix and match out of order?
Yeah, I mean, you could and still get everything.
Okay.
The series, I mean, like Preacher is book 2. It does harken back to a couple of things that happened in book 1, but you could easily pick it up and read it and not get lost as to what was going on, or everything's kind of fleshed out pretty thoroughly, so you can pick up any of them and read.
So we go Finn and then Preacher.
Yep.
Book 3 is Liam.
Yep.
Okay, and the story kind of continues on, but we're not one solid story. We're multiple stories that work together.
Yep.
And how did you do your research for this? Do you have a history with motorcycles?
Actually, I don't. It was pretty new to me going into it, so I had to do quite a bit of research. Actually, most of it was online, and you know, I read a couple other books so that I had a better understanding of what the machines are like and what it's like to ride and different equipment and things like that, because you know, I've never had never done it before.
Okay.
But I found it fascinating, and then to learn more about the whole club lifestyle and what that's like, and it was really eye-opening to me about a lot of the things that I didn't know about motorcycles and
Oh, wow,
the clubs, and so it was interesting.
And Demon is book 4.
Demon is book 4, yeah.
Very cool. So that's cool. So your research kind of opened you up to a new world.
Yeah, it really did, and I have a different appreciation for people who really find the love for riding and that, because it's not anything I was that familiar with, but now I understand why people can, it becomes such a big part of their life as to
Sure.
the freedom that they feel from it, and the camaraderie that they feel with other riders, and even if you're not in a club, just the fact that other people that might ride, it seems to bring people together.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. There is a thing, when you're out there, you're exposing yourself to more dangers out on the bike, but there's there's a thrill to it, but there's it's almost cliche to say the freedom, because it's been said so many times, but at the same time you get out there and you go, oh yeah, okay, now I get that. And so it does kind of bring people together,
Right.
It's something you can relate to.
Right. And I tried to use that in the books as much as I could, because that's kind of at the heart of the club, was that, they're a family outside of, their normal families, that, they have a kinship with each other, not just because they all work together, but because they ride together and they're part of this club. They all have a special bond with each other, so that they're there for each other when they need each other.
So how did you come across the history about the sandhogs?
The sandhogs, it was something I was a little bit familiar with, but I had done a lot of reading about that too once I decided on the idea, because I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be just the club that was bringing them together. This way they were able to bring Irish heritage together, and their work together, and their love for motorcycles all together in one place. I had to do a little digging to get some history on the sandhogs, but it goes back to the 1800s, and the men who have done it. It's only within the last 20 or 30 years or so that there are actually some women that do it. It's always been men. They're predominantly Irish, and it's generational. You'll find guys who did it because their father and their grandfather did it, and they get down hundreds of feet below the earth, or what used to be done by hand is now mostly done by machine, but
Okay.
it's still pretty dangerous work.
Sure.
And they get paid pretty well, but they get paid well because they know there's a risk involved with what they're doing too. So and they take great pride in what they do.
Sure.
So that was another thing that I found was really integral to what I wanted to bring into the book, is that they're very proud of their heritage, both at work and their cultural heritage too.
I can tell without asking. You've got some pride in your cultural heritage.
I do, and it's I come from an Irish family, and it's only within the last 10 years or so that I've really started to embrace it more, and I've done more research on my ancestry and things like that to find out, what parts of Ireland my family has been from, and so I've tried to learn more and more about the culture, and
Okay.
there's so much mythology tied into it. And even a lot of the names that I use in the books, I researched the names so that the names have specific Gaelic meanings to them, so that
Oh, wow,
there are, like, even just the name of the club, the Cosentor is the Gaelic word for protector. So they protect each other, but you also, as you read the books, you find they protect others that are important to them. So
Wow. That's something that I've found to love about writing, is the research portion of it, just to learn, even for something small. You might do weeks of research just to get something that's only mentioned for a paragraph, but how engaging it is to really dive that deep into something.
That's one of the, I agree with you, that's one of the best parts I find of writing is I love doing the research. You know, I want to make sure that people feel like I know what I'm talking about, so I research as much as I can to learn as much as I can about specific professions or different locations. Or in Demon, I write a lot about, it does take place partly in Orange County, but it also takes place in the Caribbean island of Montserrat. So I did a lot of research on the island, and I wanted to make sure. Oh, that must have been torture. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got as much of that correct as well, because Montserrat they call the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean because a lot of the people from Montserrat are Irish. And even, you know, in some of the books, you know, some of the characters carry different weapons or whatever. And, you know, I want to make sure that I had those details right. There were a couple of instances where people are using specific types of guns that I've never used before. Oh, sure. So I did talk to people who, you know, have more experience with things like that, so that they could tell me, yeah, in that situation that wouldn't happen, or you know, this person wouldn't use that type of weapon. Or
so you got to get a lot of good one-on-one personal research out of it as well.
Yeah, I did. Nice. Even you know, with you know, with not just with some of the motorcycle stuff, I did talk to people who've actually ridden, so that they could tell me what the experience is like, and
excellent.
You know, so I could get more of that into the book. But even small things like in Demon, there's a speed dating episode, and so I talked to people who were, you know, who had done that before, so I could kind of get the information as to what that's like.
Now, you said your website. What is your website for our viewers?
My website is MikeGerartyAuthor.com.
Okay.
And, you know, all my books are on there. That's where you can order signed copies.
Now, hold this up so people can see the spelling of your last name, but if you can also just spell the website as well.
Sure. It's www.MikeGerartyAuthor.com, MikeGerartyAuthor.com.
And then they can also find you, which social media sites?
I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, TikTok, I'm everywhere.
Okay. So you mentioned they're available on Amazon
They
as
are
well?
available on Amazon, so if people wanted the electronic versions instead of the paperback versions, they can get them there. But the paperbacks are available on Barnes & Noble, and really, you could go to any bookstore and request them, and they can get them for you.
Fantastic. And your publishing company, I assume they can all be ordered through them as well?
Yeah, Scarlet Lantern Publishing, they have their website, and you can get stuff directly from them as well. So, I mean, they're pretty widely available.
Did you when you first started, did you do self-publishing at all, or you went straight to the
yeah, you know what, I've only done publishing through them. Scarlet Lantern's a small independent publisher. They're based down in the South.
Okay.
And there, you know, there's a group of about, I think there's 10 or 12 authors that are part of their publishing group.
Nice.
And yeah, they focus on romance primarily, so you know, it's been a really good fit, and we've had a really good relationship for a long time. So
nice. Well, fantastic. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me here.
I really appreciate you coming to meet with me and
absolutely.
Talking with you.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to paging through these and getting into these books here. It's especially now knowing some of what went into this, and I got to tell you, you really got me with their line of work as well. In addition.
It's really interesting. You know, I think people they find out a lot more about what goes into that kind of work and how much history there actually is involved in it.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks,
it was great
Justin.
to meet you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Michael Gerarty has a brimming passion for his Irish heritage, and he fills the pages of his novels with unique stories not found in the mainstream. I began to wonder about the other histories long lived in this country. My curiosities took me many miles north into the foothills of the Adirondack Mountains, where I managed to find the creative genius behind Blackbraid, taking respite from his extensive recording and touring schedule. Blackbraid is unquestionably the most successful Native American black metal music act out there. Having graced the top charts of SiriusXM's Liquid Metal station, shared stages with such names as Kiss and Guns N' Roses, and did all of it on his own. Settle in and join us as history is made on this story.
Hello and thank you for tuning in to the next story. I'm your host, Justin De Milan, and I'm here today with Skagasawa of Blackbraid. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
It is so cool to have you here. Where are we, by the way?
We are in the Southern Adirondacks somewhere. I won't say exactly where.
All right. This is absolutely gorgeous out here.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 albums out now.
Yeah.
When did you start writing? When did Blackbraid come about?
It's been like 2 years this summer. It'll be.
Wow. So
That's
an album a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
And you're working on another one now?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty far along actually. Third one next year sometime, like 2025. I'm not going to bother with it this year because it's too busy. But yeah, there'll definitely be another one pretty soon.
Very cool. So you're the primary or sole songwriter?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does that work with the band? Tell me how that situation is.
Pretty much I just write the music and, I record it all. I have a producer, like my buddy Neil, that like records everything for me, and he's like an hour or 2 from me, so we'll do everything. But yeah, I just do everything myself. I write it all myself, and then when it's done, I'll like make videos to teach the live guys. I'll write them tabs. And
So when we hear the album, that's all you?
yeah.
Extremely impressive. I mean, I come from a musical background, so I understand some of the nuances of writing, but to be able to have that level of an understanding of each instrument is just musically astounding. And I mean, for somebody to do it is one thing, but to the level of what Blackbraid sounds like, you feel the emotion. Even before the vocals come through, just in the instruments, there's so much feeling and emotion in that.
Hell yeah.
So where is it that you harness that? How does that come through that way?
I refuse to like put out stuff that I think is mediocre or something, like when it comes to songs, like I'll work on them for months before, and I'll throw them out too. Like there's a lot of stuff that didn't even make it on the album. So I guess I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to that stuff. And with the instruments, it's more just like me kind of being a control freak, I think. Like, like it would be cool to have other members and stuff. Like sometimes I wish I had other people to like bounce ideas off of and stuff. But like in the end, like I have such a defined vision of what I want it to be that it's easier just to do it all myself, and then I don't really have to like butt heads with anyone except for myself.
Yeah. Well, Blackbraid is nothing close to mediocre. It's the music is just fantastic, and I'm so excited to see what's coming next. Considering, I hear the first album and I'm all like, this just doesn't get any better, and then you proved me wrong by putting out another album that somehow sounded even better than the first one. And it's fantastic. I can't say enough good things about your work. So you're playing live. What all do you got planned out through this year? You got a lot of tours and shows coming up?
We're really focusing on Europe and the rest of the world
Wow.
this year. Yeah, we got a couple Europe festivals announced. Like I think we have like 5 or 6 announced. We have a tour in October.
And that's a European tour, or?
Yeah. My first headlining tour out there with Lamp of Murmur and Dodsrit, who are both really good friends of mine. So
Cool.
it's going to be pretty badass.
Now you're going to be in Europe. Are you hitting some of the the origins? We talk about black metal. I mean, you're talking places like Norway. Are you getting some of those areas?
Yeah, a tiny bit. I don't think we hit Norway on this one. We were in Norway last year. We do hit Sweden.
What was your reception like there? How did they accept Blackbraid?
Oh, they loved us. I mean, probably the biggest show we played was Copenhagen in Copenhagen.
Oh wow!
And I mean, that's my favorite. I think that's probably my favorite show we played so far. That one was huge. We got to play like that whole weekend. We did a pretty massive festival run. Like we were on the main stage at Copenhagen with like Ghost and Guns N' Roses.
Oh wow!
And then like right before that, we played Hellfest the night before that in France with Kiss. Like that whole weekend was pretty insane. It's
really
probably
cool.
one of the crazier weekends we've had in Blackbraid.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many people are you playing for at festivals like that?
It depends. Like those two were huge. Hellfest and Copenhagen. They sell like 50,000, 60,000 tickets. Hellfest is a little bigger. Like I think Copenhagen's like 50 and Hellfest is like 60. So.
Wow, that's a lot of ears.
Yeah, we also play like, we'll play the festivals that are only like 5 or 10,000, and then like on tour sometimes we'll play rooms that are like, only like 400 capacity. So,
Nice.
like you never really know what you're getting. It's definitely not like that all the time. But
Now that's such a difference playing for these are two massively different types of audiences at that size, right?
yeah.
So
But yeah, when we tour like that, Europe tour is gonna be like almost every venue in there is like less than 1,000 capacity. So it's nothing like that.
a little more intimate.
Yeah.
Do you prefer that, or do you prefer the large stage experience?
When it gets so big that the crowd is like far away, like when you're playing at festivals of like 50 or 60,000 people, a lot of the times the barriers, like, there's like 2 photo pits and a VIP pit and then the barrier.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes the front row is a good like 40 feet away from you at those
Wow.
things, and you're like up 20 feet above them, and like depending on the size of the stage, like it's awesome playing in front of those huge crowds, but it can be like a little like distance. I like shows with no barrier,
Yeah.
like where the crowd is just there. It doesn't really matter to me how big it is, as long as it's fun. And
You obviously have a heavy influence of your surroundings, and I mean everybody does. People that are living LA or writing about LA and the city experience. But it's pretty obvious this shapes a lot of the sound of Blackbraid, right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't have much else going on, so this is like there's not really that much else going on in the Adirondacks, so I don't have much else to write about, I guess, other than nature. It's like where I spend a good chunk of my free time. So
Well, and right for you, that's your environment, and so you're like, it's what I'm used to. But for the people that aren't used to it, like this is like a slice of heaven here. It's just gorgeous.
yeah.
Being surrounded by this level of beauty, it's almost hard to. How does he pull that anger through there? How does he get that angst through all this?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of anger too. It's not an issue for me, but yeah, I mean, well, like you said, it never really does get old, I'm here every day, and it's always, it never stops being breathtaking when you get to hang out somewhere like this.
So we're black metal, a lot of it, being this the European background, and I know there's a lot of that anger towards what Christianity has done to the history of those cultures. Do you feel there's any of that you're able to relate to in Blackbraid as far as what Christianity has done to the Native American culture?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably, like why I was drawn to black metal in the first place, as a kid or whatever, as a young adult, whatever. Because the themes are so similar to like, the indigenous American experience, and it kind of like translates perfectly, I think. What they did to like the Norse pagans, the Christians did to them and stuff, is very similar, kind of, like snuffing out their culture and their identities, and kind of like trying to delegitimize their gods and their way of life. All that stuff is pretty spot on with what happened here. So
Sure, yeah.
there's a lot of like really easy parallels to draw.
Is there a large black metal scene around this area, or is Blackbraid basically it?
I think I'm pretty much it. Like I mean, I have some friends that listen to black metal, but there's not really a scene of anything around here, Like
Okay.
if I would want to see a metal show, I'd probably have to drive an hour and a half minimum. Like I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, so
Yeah.
and then like even then, like it's not going to be black metal. It's,
Well, black metal
Yeah.
is more or less an underground scene anyways, I suppose. So I mean, even you get to the larger cities, and it's not like this city has a great black metal scene,
Yeah.
I mean, not so much. It's I know that a lot of black metal when it got started was this cassette tape exchange was basically how it got done, and now living in a time with the internet, it's going to be a lot easier to pass that around. For being as remote as you are, I mean, do you think if you had come about 30 years earlier, would you have been able to get that influence to get into black metal that same way?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, I could have written the same music, but, I'm not going to pretend the internet didn't have like a huge hand in helping me blow up and get my music heard and, get the word out there and stuff. And I probably wouldn't have been playing Hellfest the first year if it wasn't for that. So.
And as far as Native American culture in the area here, is there much of that still thriving in the area?
I mean, there's history, but there's really not much going on here. In general, like the Adirondacks is a pretty remote, unsettled place. Like I struggle just to find colonial history around where I live. Like, past maybe 80 years ago, there's like nothing, no documents of anything. And it's a pretty uninhabitable place. You get really rough winters, and the history here is like very young. Like, so it's a little less black and white, I guess. Like if you look at like the late 1800s and stuff, when the Indian Wars were happening and the reservation system was being put in place and stuff, like where we're at now, there wasn't even people living. It was like too remote. Like they would hunt out here and that's it. Like, so yeah, it's a really remote area. There's not much on either side, like the native history or the colonial history. Like it's really all just through word of mouth around here, or the vast majority of it anyway. Like you can go to town hall and find stuff. But
aside from what we talked about, Bandcamp, YouTube Music, and Liquid Metal, where are other places where people can find Blackbraid? Is there a website or anything people can go to?
Yeah, I mean, I have my own website. That's where the web store's there. Like we still run our own web store. There's a European store that I run now too, but the website's definitely the best place. But
what is that?
It's blackbraid.us.
Blackbraid.us. Okay, cool. And you've got, so you can hear the music there. You can buy merchandise.
That's got like tour dates, merchandise, like everything, news. I think there are some videos on there, but I mean the music you can hear pretty much anywhere. You can hear music. Like if you have, Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon, wherever you buy music, it's on there probably. So
very cool. All right. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with me here. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I am super excited to see the future of what is coming from Blackbraid.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Excellent.
Today's interviews have shown the endless possibilities that can happen when we cross the divides and bring cultures, stories, and passions together. We've also seen how our histories can help shape our futures. Much of our history in this country has helped to bring a strong element of patriotism. None of this done without hardship and loss. In our next episode, I will be meeting with a group of military veterans who have found peace of mind from that hardship and loss in building motorcycles, as well as bonds with each other. This and more on The Next Story.